Hi, my name is Beth Kramer and I am from Denver via Oregon. I'm staying in Denver for about the next 6 weeks. I wanted to send in this video basically detailing some of the things that I know that I'm really good at, as well as provide a little bit of information. I was invited to try out for Utopia via a friend in New Mexico, and the idea intrigued me simply because I think that this world is in a spot where we need a change, and I think that by creating a society of like-minded individuals, nothing but good can come out of that. As far as my role in Utopia, I consider myself a mediator. I'm pretty level-headed most of the time, and I can see both sides of a story most of the time, unless the argument is directly involving me, and then I tend to be a little bit of a hothead. So I can be extremely dramatic, don't like being dramatic, but I can be the voice of reason for a bunch of people that are just more invested in being right. My idea of a perfect utopia is learning from each other and being able to give and take, as well as teaching and learning from each other, and I think too many people are not capable of learning. I think that everybody falls into each other's lives for one specific purpose, and that's either to teach or to learn. And I think that by creating a new society, that would be one of the forefront rules in my idea of a perfect utopia, is to learn and to teach from each other. Everybody's got knowledge that the other person doesn't have. One of the things that I learned over the last year is how to do just a simple water purification for survival. If you are stuck somewhere, say you go hiking, you lose your trail, you almost always have a water bottle. If not, you can find them, because people are lovely and they destroy the earth by throwing this crap everywhere. So all you need is just a simple plastic water bottle, a little bit of charcoal. If you go camping, you can find it. If not, it is very easy to start a fire, but that is another learning episode on how to start a fire out in the middle of nowhere. Rocks, sand, and fine gravel. And you can actually make yourself a very simple, effective water purification system. Nothing is going to beat boiling the water for 10 minutes. You can even boil it in plastic. As long as you fill this and you keep it above the flames, you can actually boil water in a plastic container, and that works just as well as boiling in a metal container. So we're going to start off by doing just a very simple water purification. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you'll be one step closer to surviving if you ever get stuck on a hike. So basically, you start off with an empty water bottle. You're going to want to fill it with some medium grade gravel. This is just stuff I found while I was picking up. It's all over the place. You want to do a nice fine layer. Getting a little dirt in there is fine, because it will be filtered out. It will kind of drip out. And you'll need to run a couple things of water through it anyway, just to make sure you get all the dust and everything off. So as you can see, I'm just layering it. We've got a nice little layer there. You want to do about 1 inch. And any size water bottle will do. You can just kind of adjust the supplies for how much you need. At this point, what I like to do is add a little bit more of the bigger rock, and that'll just kind of keep those smaller rocks from floating all over the place. Finding rocks that will fit in the water bottle can sometimes be a chore. But again, you can find pebbles and rocks and sand pretty much on any spot. I'm sitting right next to a little creek here in Colorado, and it does have very slow moving water. It does get flooded pretty regularly, but this is a perfect experiment. I mean, most places in Colorado have some slow running creeks, and you can find beds of water and bodies of water pretty easily. How many more of those rocks? So as you can see there, I've got another little layer of the bigger rocks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some charcoal. Charcoal is great because it absorbs all kinds of impurities. People have been using charcoal for centuries for facial cleaning, for purifying things. You can make soaps out of it, actually. And I do make my own soap, not out of charcoal, but out of lye and pine tar. And you just kind of jam these in here. You make another layer. And you basically continue this, doing layers all the way up to the top. Okay, so this is the third layer. You can do as many as 10 layers. It really just depends on the person and how thirsty you are. But right now, so far, I've got the very fine gravel, bigger rocks to hold that down. There is a layer of charcoal. The sand kind of drifted down, which is perfect. I want that to do that because that filters all the very small particulates. And then I've got more of the finer rock that you can see here, just the simple aggregate right here. And I'm going to do another layer of the charcoal and probably just one more layer of everything before I show you how it all works. So, since I was only able to find enough charcoal to make 2 of these layers, we're going to stop with the 2 layers of the charcoal here. You can see that there's about 1 inch thick on each side. When I added the sand and the smaller gravel, you can see that it kind of drifted down, which is perfect. That's what I want it to do. I want the smaller pieces on the bottom so they finally get that really fine stuff that's managed to slip through. The charcoal and the gravel work in conjunction by kind of filtering out any impurities in the water, any chemicals, fluoride, any chlorine, any bacteria to a degree, or any viruses to a degree. I still highly recommend boiling water because that will kill any organic stuff that's in the water that this doesn't catch. This is good for an emergency situation, but it is not a foolproof plan. So the final step is I'm just basically pouring some more fine sand with a little bit of gravel on the very top, just to hold everything in place. You don't want this rolling around and getting all mucked up while you're filling it with water. You do want to fill it to the top. If you only have enough sand or gravel, do that, but don't leave a big gap because that will cause all the contents to splosh around and it won't get nice and compact, which is what you need for purifying anything. So I'm just filling the very top. You'd be surprised how much dirt these little guys hold. Okay, so we've got it full up to the top. What I'm going to do is reach down this bank and I'm going to load it up full of water. Cameraman's calling me Wonder Woman because I'm literally on the edge of a muddy bank. But you got to do what you got to do when you want to use water. Just slowly let it fill up. Actually see the water starting to go through the sand, and that's what you want. You will have to submerge it 3 or 4 more times because it does get locked there. It's not the quickest of water purification, but you can see that it's starting to slowly seep in, and this is what you want. You don't want something that runs right through. If it runs right through, it doesn't give the filter a chance to actually filter. So with this, it will take probably 15-20 minutes, and you will see the whole thing done in just a little bit. Oh, that's hot. Okay, so I filled this up with water. It's taken about half an hour to let the full amount go all the way through, and then I refilled it again. You can still tell at top it's got kind of got that green, nasty stuff. I did put the lid on, and I punched holes in the bottom. I used just a simple thumbtack. You can use a nail, you can use a screwdriver, you can use a Swiss Army knife, but it has been dripping steadily into this, and you can kind of see there's still some similar discoloration, but I believe in this product that I have used several times, and I'm not scared to drink it on camera. And it tastes like swamp, but I know that it's clean. So cheers, that is a simple water purification plastic bottle. So if you're ever in a survival situation, you need clean water, you're scared to death of what's sitting in there, sand, charcoal, gravel, plastic bottle, and about 30 minutes and you've got nice, clean drinking water.